Good morning, everybody. Welcome to First Church of Religious Science here in New York City. We're broadcasting here in New York on the Upper West Side. Welcome to all of you who are here with us in our studio audience, and welcome to our enormous virtual gathering. We've been having large numbers of people. We're developing a Spanish class for a lot of the people who have requested it. That will come soon. So for those of you who are signing in now, again, welcome to First Church. The beauty of unity and spirituality can be felt here today. The Zoom board is lighting up, and I also know that some number, 100 of people will be watching this broadcast throughout the next few days on YouTube and Facebook also. So welcome to you, wherever you're finding our message. We're glad you found us. So, I want to also say that we, at the center, we're getting tons of messages, lots of support. We get every message, and it's very much appreciated. It's somewhat humbling, and it's really energizing for us. It just makes us want to do more. We're currently in development with a translation platform to bring our messages to the Spanish-speaking community, so that with a little bit of luck and your prayers and help will happen very soon. So everything you send us and all you do for us, all your comments and all the platforms are appreciated. We have immense gratitude for you. And again, it makes us just want to keep on expanding and refining what we do. Please know that everything at First Church, everything we do in the way of our broadcasts on Wednesday, Thursday, our Louise self-healing class, and Sunday are offered on a love offering basis. So our primary goal is to uplift, to enlighten, to share the teaching, and to remind you that you have the power within yourself. There's no place you have to go. We serve as a place where we can gather to remind you of the truth of your being, that you are one with life, you are an individualization of spirit, and that you have within yourself everything you need to succeed. So that's our function, is to remind you and show you different techniques, affirmative prayer, affirmations, and many other things to just keep you on course. If any of you, and some of you do, I know, feel moved to support our endeavors, our work, there are options in the chat always for people to make donations if they'd like. Some people prefer to send checks. If you'd like to do that, our address is in the chat room also. So whatever you do, just showing up is the important thing, and it's deeply appreciated. Your presence is the main thing, and your participation. And then when we see the growth that's occurring, as evidenced by all your sharing, it's very gratifying, and everyone is telling me they're getting so much out of the personal sharing. So please keep it up. If you don't feel like sharing, maybe you feel like just saying hello and where you're from, and that would be wonderful too, so we can welcome you. Another thing, some of you are requesting time with me or Jimmy or one of the others that we have on staff, other people. Send us a text, and we'll try to set that up for you to accommodate you. We're definitely here for you in any way we can be. So today's talk lesson initially came from Raymond Charles Barker, but it's a manuscript that's been worked on at different times and places, so I gave it a bit of an overhaul this past week. Initially, the ideas came from Thoughts or Things. Today, the version of it, which is probably the 5th or 6th version, is if thoughts took form with a question mark. And again, that came from Raymond Charles Barker, who was a true inspiration in the New Thought movement and the first pastor of the center. The other people, we had other luminaries here too. Louise, as you all know, was one of our students here, and she did her practitioner work here, her studies, and I believe became a minister here as well, but she definitely was doing her practitioner work here. So with our title, If Thought Took Form, I'd like to start out with a story. but hopefully will amplify the idea if thoughts took form. And again, there's a mirror. In this case, it's a magical mirror. So if you can imagine, in a quaint town, there stood this mysterious and magical mirror. It's unlike any other mirror because this one had the power to reveal not your external appearance, but your innermost thoughts. So when the people in the town walked into the room and saw the mirror, they peered into its depths, and they'd see their dreams, they'd see their desires, they'd see their fears, and they would see their secrets all come alive in the mirror. A wise teacher, understanding the mirror's potential as a learning tool, took her class to the room to witness its magic. And she advised her students, as you gaze into the mirror, focus on the good, focus on the positive, and focus on where you want to go, your positive aspirations. So the students, one by one, as they looked, saw dreams of their graduation and scenes of their growth and helping others, helping their family, the love that they had for different people in the mirror. And all the great things that they wanted were unveiled to them. However, one student, troubled by self-doubt, saw his anxieties and fears. And the teacher was there, and she gently remarked to him, she said, our thoughts, though intangible, possess immense power. They shape our future. Now, knowing that, she said to her, the young student, she says, which thoughts will you choose? And after sharing this tale, it's evident that our mind is much like the mirror. It reflects back to us the essence of our thoughts. If we're constantly filled with doubt, fear, anger, resentment, negativity, our reality may and is very likely to reflect that sentiment. However, if we embrace this teaching day by day, thought by thought, hour by hour, if we nurture positive affirmations, positive thinking, hopeful thinking, our life will begin to blossom in ways that we never imagined. I often tell people who come into our teaching, they've studied before Louise Hay or Ernest Holmes, they've taken a class, just stay tuned. Stay tuned every week, especially Thursday, and if you can, Sunday, because it isn't that what we teach is so difficult. It's just the matter of just keep on reminding yourself of this material. It's a day at a time, it's an hour at a time sometimes, but it's about cultivating a habit. I go back to thinking of Benjamin Franklin with the first self-help book in Poor Richard's Almanac, assuming a virtue. And the expression was, assume a virtue if you have it not. So he would practice for a period of weeks, I forget if it was 13, but it would be a systematic process of practicing, seeing himself being a different way, until it became habitual. In terms of what we teach, we don't have theology, we don't have dogma. We're always going to be reminding you that you are one with this one energy, one with this power, that you are an inlet and outlet of this power, and that it responds to you. So the story of the magical mirror helps illustrate the fact that we have the power to shape our destiny. We shape our destiny with our own thoughts. Every thought we think is creating our future, said Louise Hay. Dr. Barker was not just a minister, an author, or a teacher, but he was a true visionary of new thought. He was sent to New York by Ernest Holmes to start this whole work on the East Coast. A visionary in every way. New Thought is a movement that marries spirituality with practical application. Okay, so we take these thoughts and we have to practice them. We assume the virtue that Franklin talked about, we become givers, we become supporters. Another phrase that one of my teachers, you learn to become a lifter. You're here to, not for the applause, but to give applause. You're here to give applause to everyone. Say, good job. Because you know that life is moving forward. You absolutely know, once you're in this teaching, that you have indwelling spirit within you that's always attempting to get your attention. It nudges you sometimes, keeps nudging you until you let go of something. You're willing to expand and grow. So Barker, in that talk about every thought, your thoughts, or my version of it is every thought takes form. Barker was trying to say that we have this innate divine quality. It's part of our nature, and it's transformative once we learn how to use it. He said it, I'll quote exactly, "We are divine not because we know it, but because the consciousness within us knows it." There's something within you that knows, that you have everything. Bill Tolliver, who taught me for many years, said to his students, he says, "You know and you know that you know." And that used to bug me because I would be in some classes and he would ask questions and I would try to say I don't know. But he would say there is that which is within you that knows. And what he was talking about is each of us are inlets of spirit. We have, on some level, we do know. So we want to challenge ourselves. We want to go within and we want to ask the questions that we need answers for. We're not trying to hide out. We're not trying to live our lives in a small way. We're here to grow. We're here to evolve. We're here to expand. Barker said this isn't about intellectual reasoning either. It isn't something, a lot of people want to go study a lot of books. He said it isn't something that we can study, quantify, or analyze. He said we have within us an intrinsic, very deep-rooted awareness. Louise would say it a different way. Deep at the center of your being, there's an infinite well of love and knowledge. And she's right. It's there. And I would challenge anybody to meditate and do some affirmative prayer. And you'll get in touch with it. It resonates at a deep spiritual level. And once you get in touch with it, you start to commune with it, or what we say, live the affirmative life. As you start to commune with it, it invites us to move beyond where we've been, with maybe superficial sayings and things, to a deeper place, and where we realize deeper truths about ourselves, where we truly know that we are supplied in every possible way. So let's think about it. Deep in the core of your being, there is this part of you, this aliveness that understands that you are one with this divinity, this energy. And that's something that's spectacular. That's been called the best kept secret of the ages. People were off throughout Europe and throughout the world looking for something that they had always within themselves. So it's a spectacular thing to wake up to realize not only is the kingdom at hand, it is within us and it's responding to us all the time. Isn't that recognition more powerful than any kind of external validation you could get from anywhere else, that you are an inlet, an outlet of this spectacular activity, this energy? It's like a well-kept secret that our soul knows, but our mind sometimes forgets. That's something that Barker said. Having this information within you is like a well-kept secret that our soul knows on a deep level, but our mind sometimes forgets. Louise would say remembering and forgetting. It's the game that we play. I suggest for people to tune into our weekly broadcast. And with the Louise Hay's book and some of our books, I've read them and I put them on the shelf myself. But the thing that's kept it alive for me is, I'm showing up every week in a class, and I have for many years, because the human tendency is to forget. You forget how great you are. You forget that you have power. You forget that, as Holmes said, that there's a bank account downtown with your name on it. It's unlimited. So what they're saying in all these different types of lessons is you exist as pure potential. There's nothing that's denied you in life. Everything is there for you. It's developing the capacity to receive and developing the consciousness to know that you deserve it. So, you approach the ocean of life with love, to share and to give, and so you can receive. You let go and you let God, or you let go and you let you trust the process of life. Raymond Charles Barker once again said, it's a best kept secret, a secret our soul only knows, but our mind often forgets. So, and Louise Hay, again, remembering and forgetting, it's the game we play. And as I was thinking about it, as I was putting the lesson together, this thought is also complemented by Marianne Williamson, who once wrote, our deepest fear is not that we're inadequate. She thought, our deepest fear is that we're realizing we're more powerful than what we understand. And went on to say it's our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. So these are the same ideas. Both statements from Barker or Marianne Williamson are reminders of our inner power. Question is, are we shadowing our brilliance because of external perceptions or societal ideas? Are we dumbing it down? We're not letting our light shine, or we're not letting ourselves express ourselves. Maybe something happened when we were younger, we heard something from a parent, an older brother or sister, a teacher a long time ago. When any of these things are happening, they instill in us some idea that we're not okay, we're not enough. And if we let that kind of thinking continue, the question is, aren't we dimming that powerful light that's really wanting to shine through all of us? Because we're here to express life, and we're here to grow, and we're here to shine, and we're individualizations of this light. So those are questions you might want to ask yourself, because if you're holding back in those areas, we want to address them, and we want to clear the way so we can more fully express ourselves and be alive in our life. Now, Barker's teachings were grounded in the New Thought principles. They're not about fostering some inflated ego about ourselves or nurturing arrogance. It's really just the opposite. With Barker and New Thought, it's about recognizing and accepting the divine spark that's within each and every one of us. It's about humility in understanding our place in the universe. We are neither insignificant, nor do we overly magnify our importance in this perfect harmony with all and everyone in existence. The realization that we are part of it, we're one with it, and we're awake in it is transformative. We are, as we say, individualizations of Source. We are one with the One, and therefore we are of great value. The world wouldn't be the same without you or without any one of us. So we're not the whole thing, but we are an intrinsic part of it, as is every one of you. When we embrace this truth, this deep idea that we're one with the One and we have all this power to be aware and to create, the way we think, the way we act will change. And even the trajectory of your life starts to shift to a higher place. We have the ability to have greater understanding and greater purpose once we understand who we are and what we are. In the old language, they would say, I'm one with the Father. Today we might say we're one with the Spirit. It's the same idea. On the time of Jesus, would be said, it's not me, but it's the Spirit within me, the Father within that doeth the work. Everybody on this call has that power within them, operating through them. And so we come together to acknowledge that we have this power. We're part of one another, and we're here to grow, to evolve. We want to become vessels or conduits of this loving energy. We want to be channeling positivity and love into everything we do. Ernest Holmes, of course, another great visionary, a New Thought, said very similar things, as he taught most of the people I've spoken of. Holmes said life is like a mirror, and it's definitely going to reflect back to the thinker what he or she thinks into it. Our external world is but a reflection of our innermost beliefs and thoughts. So think about your thoughts. Every Thursday I give people an opportunity when I ask, what has it been like being you this week? Because, that's going to get mirrored in your day-to-day living. If you're constantly dwelling on limitations, what's wrong, what's missing, and all of that, that's what life is going to show you. It's going to be reflected. So on the contrary, if you're focusing on the possibilities, it won't matter if you're 28 or you're 88. You'll find things to do that will be interesting because you're an active participant in life, and life will respond to you. I had students, I remember one, her name was Joyce. She got involved in the teachings with me when I think she was somewhere around 90. And I saw her grow like crazy. I saw her get married. And the time was she came and she showed me a ring and she had married herself. And she was very proud to tell everybody she loved herself so much that she just married herself. But she really knew the teaching, and it was a life-altering experience for her to really begin this process. Because I recall when I first met her, there was a lot of stories going back to the times of Germany and elsewhere where she experienced a lot of pain. So it doesn't matter your age, it doesn't matter anything. If we're dwelling on limitations, we're doing some version of ain't it awful, and nobody understands me or the troubles I've been. I mean, certainly it's anyone's prerogative to do that, but it's doubtful that it will take you where you want to go. That's all I'm going to say. One of the sayings from Louise Hayes she used is, it's only a thought I'm having. Whatever it is, it's a thought, and it's something I can change. I'm not saying it's easy, but I'm saying it's worth the effort, because if you get in the habit of turning these internal discussions and these judgments around, it'll pay off big time. If you show up regularly in our classes and our services, we're just going to keep reminding you of the wonder that you have, that you're one with the one and you have everything that you need. You're the whole bit, as Barker would say. So, when we come here, we focus on all the possibilities. And as we do that, the universe is going to respond to it. Once you start to know that you're supplied and that there's a pattern of health within you, operating in you, and that you're supported, that you're prosperous. From the movie The Secret is the line, which was, your wish is its command. In other words, the universe will always have your back. In the context of today's rapidly evolving and often overwhelming world, I know on this week's call there's all kinds of concern about world events. There's information coming at us in every type of platform, social media, news. Some of it's real, some of it's fabricated. It's just an overload of information coming at us continuously. This would be a great time to pay attention to Raymond Charles Barker and Ernest Holmes' insights, because they're not just pertinent, they're becoming crucial. Amidst all this noise and all the things, these two great voices and Louise Hay suggest that we find our center, that place deep within us, that holy place. We find that place where we can ground ourselves in an unshakable belief that we have this divine energy, this creative intelligence within us. You are powerful. Imagine amidst the chaos of everything you're hearing and listening. Just imagine if all of these thoughts started manifesting themselves externally. What tales would they weave about your innermost beliefs and your thoughts? Your life would be filled with everything. So what Barker's getting at with this lesson is, what we have here isn't just philosophy, but it's a call for introspection, because we know that our thoughts are things. We know that our thoughts are creative. Maybe it's time for us to take a page from some of the 12-step programs where we take an inventory. Let's figure out what's working with our thinking, and then let's take a look at what isn't working for our highest and our best, because we know our thoughts are being acted upon. So the best is being acted upon and the worst is being acted upon. And so we have that understanding that life is responding to us. We absolutely know that life is responding to us. Raymond Charles Barker was always insistent on us understanding our relationship with the universe. In his contemplations, in his writings, he questioned, why should we be less than the universe itself. Aren't we a part of it? That was a good question. Why should we consider ourselves less valuable than the universe itself? Aren't we a very part of it? And of course we are. That was a reminder that we're not separate, but we're always connected with this source. And this connection is both our strength and it's our responsibility. Ernest Holmes' wisdom reinforces the idea that our beliefs have the power to shape our reality. And of course, Louise said, every thought we think is creating our future. So think of the moments in your own life where against every odds, somehow or another, hope and resilience came through and you got through it. Was this just a chance? Was this mere chance? Or was it your consciousness rooted in your divinity, your connection, reminding us all of our strength? In moments of doubt, when the external world seems threatening and seems to overshadow the light, let's always remind ourselves of our true essence, our connection. We live in this unitary field of light, love, and energy. Let's channel Raymond Charles Barker's wisdom and recognize that our consciousness, on some level, knows its divinity. There is that which is within you that really does know that you are more than just your body. So it's really time for all of us to align our thinking and our beliefs and our actions with this deep truth. It's time for us to dig in and realize that you are one with this one. It's time to work on our affirmations and our affirmative prayers and to expect and embrace positive expectancy in every area of our life. So to wrap it up, in conclusion, Raymond Charles Barker's profound insight serves as a compass for us. He said, you're the whole bit, the whole bit. I first heard that and I smiled. He says, you don't have to look anywhere. Everything you need is within you. And a very similar idea he expressed was, you are a total idea in a magnificent arena of life. And I thought about that this afternoon. I thought, this is very beautiful. So I'll say it to you again. You, every one of you on the call, are a total idea in a magnificent arena of life. Embrace this idea. Cherish it. Affirm it to yourself. Your journey is unique, but the truth remains universal. Stay anchored in this wisdom and let this wisdom guide your path. Deep at the center of your being, you have this wisdom. My father used to say, Spirit will not be the uninvited guest. So invite it in, meditate, do affirmative prayer. Go to that place within you where you have all the answers. Every thought you think, by the way, has the potential to sow a seed. What thoughts will you cultivate today? What will you cultivate today? Well, the answer to that is, it's entirely up to you. The universe responds to you. You are the whole bit. Thanks, everybody, for being a part of this lesson today, this gathering, this spiritual journey that we are all a part of. As we wrap it up, we want to invite you to stay tuned for a moment. This next section is our good news, where everyone has a chance to share a word or two. You can talk about your demonstrations, manifestations, or maybe you just want to say hello and where you're from. So stay tuned and we will be right with you. Thank you.